We welcome you, Matt, for being our guest today on today's podcast. And we really appreciate that you giving your time today, Matt. I'm your host, Rohit Jaswal. Going to take you further on the topic, the sales playbook, winning big in the competitive apparel industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you inviting me. So let's get after it.
Thank you. Sure. The first question, how did you get started in the wholesale apparel and what keeps you passionate about this industry?
It's funny is I kind of stumbled into this industry when I first graduated from college all the way back in 2009. I
Uh-huh.
started a business with a friend of mine, and our
Okay.
tagline was web, print, and identity. But I didn't really have any customers. I was fresh out of college, 21. I went back to my friends that were still in college, and I
Right.
stumbled into printing, printing their shirts, recruitment
Right.
shirts, whatever it was for fraternities and sororities around the college. And that's how I got into apparel. So
Beautiful.
it was completely by accident.
Beautiful. And most of it, I see that.
That's how I got started in apparel. And then I had my own business for almost 9 years, moved on from that. And then I actually started working for a wholesaler. Kind of was just like a natural progression. I worked for one of the biggest national wholesalers for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, I went into working with where I'm at now, which is at J America. And
J.
so, correct. And what keeps me passionate is honestly, I'm just into it. Whenever I'm at a store, I'm always checking out the shirts, the apparel. If I'm at a concert, if I'm at an event, I have to see what's there. I have to touch, I have to feel, I have to check it out. So I'm always constantly just checking things, looking at things, whether it's pricing, printing,
Right.
softness, hand, whatever it is. It's just whatever, for whatever reason, it speaks to me and keeps me interested.
Wow, beautiful. The second question, how do you stay ahead of trends while still meeting the needs of buyer at scale?
Absolutely. So when looking at trends, obviously you want to look what's going on at retail, and see how quickly you could scale up to check those trends, whether it's
Right.
fashion, whether it's color, whatever it is. And in our industry, in the wholesale, it's hard to kind of get to that demand quickly because retail's already on it. So
Right.
realistically, you have to see what's popular, what's going to hold, and try and catch up as soon as you can. Not only in that regard, also with what's popular. For example, a big thing that we're seeing, especially when it comes to corporate,
Mhm.
is people want options, not only different types of options, but they want men's and women's companions. And
Yeah.
so we're always trying to add to what our customers want. So just talking
Right.
to them, relaying that information, and coming up with that offering to to go with what
Wow.
they're looking for.
Agreed. And when you realize your customer what he wants, when you sell a purpose, not a promotional product, then you are a specialist. I understand this. If at all, when I look at your products on your website, on your social handles, you guys are doing some amazing job, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Killing it. I was in PPI, I was at your booth. I was at the booth, I was at both ASI and PPI.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Was at your
That's
booth and
awesome.
yeah, you guys do some crazy work. And hence I wanted to host a podcast with somebody from your firm and I got you to host today. And luckily, yes, we are talking
Yeah.
about
Appreciate.
it.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And yeah, the brand J America, we've always wanted to be kind of fashion forward. We
Uh-huh.
wanted to listen to the street, be up with trends, and I appreciate that you noticed that and took that
Yeah.
away from those events for sure.
Yeah. The third question, what sales strategy or mindset shift has helped you close deals in competitive market?
Yeah, so that's been a big thing for us here recently. And honestly, the biggest thing is being in front of customers. You talked about
Right.
seeing our products at those events, but we've
Right.
also been doing, a lot of work, a lot of groundwork in email campaigns, trying to go to more events, phone calls. I'm on a podcast today, just trying
Yeah.
to do whatever we can to stay in front of people. In a competitive landscape, competitive marketplace, if you're not doing those things, your
You are out of
competitors
the
are
market. Of course.
your
Of course.
competitors are. There's hundreds of apparel brands.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing this type of stuff, if you're not staying in front of people, your competition is. So
Somebody
we've
else
made a,
is taking care of them.
yeah, exactly. So we've
Yeah.
made a real concerted effort to do those things. And that's a lot of my role in what I've been doing is not only sales, not only brand awareness, but obviously things of this nature as well.
Wow. Well, whoever listening this podcast today would know more about the brand in depth and more about the person that working there, how enjoying your work, how you are enthusiasm about your brand. That's what you need in a rep. That's what you need in any of the job. You should love what you do. But that's what I
Absolutely.
see.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I love the J America brand. I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about the apparel space. And, that's what keeps me motivated. Get up, do this kind of cool stuff.
Beautiful. Beautiful, man.
Exactly.
Beautiful. How do you build strong relationship with buyers when products and prices are often similar?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question and a tough one because I mean, there's hundreds
Yeah.
of brands out there. And all selling similar items. And
Yeah.
honestly, it goes back to building relationships, being
Yeah.
trustworthy, being relatable, being quick with
Yeah.
communication. If somebody can rely on you to ensure that they're not only going to get a good product, but they're going to get that good customer service that comes with it, is how
True.
we've differentiated ourselves. And they want to know that their message isn't just going into a void. If somebody sends me an email or calls me, I'm getting back to them quick. I'm responding. That's how I've started to stay on top of things and kind of win more business. I won a sizable bid here recently with a customer, and she told me after, she's like, I just knew I could rely on you. I knew that if I had a question, you were going to answer. And because of that, we were able to win a bid and hopefully progress more business.
Beautiful. That's something everybody should adapt and understand from you how you look at things either. Moving further to the next question, what is your number one piece of advice for someone trying to break into apparel sales today?
Well, you mentioned it. You mentioned how passionate I am and how you could tell that I'm into this and I like it. And that
Yeah.
would be my number one thing, not only for this industry, but for any industry. You mentioned for your work, you have to be
Yeah.
into it. You
Yeah.
got to be happy. And that's a tough thing to find.
Yeah.
I've had a few other jobs in between apparel in the apparel world, and I just wasn't into it. I wasn't passionate. And I got back into it about a year ago. And it's just something that speaks to me, something I'm into. I
Right.
track trends. I read all sorts of, trade
Ah,
magazines or emails or whatever. So not only in this industry, but any industry, you just have to be into it and
right.
you have to live it, breathe it, and really want to be a part of it.
Nice. Well, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, Matt.
Yeah, the email address that you have on file, that'll come to me. And like I said, they will be shocked at how quickly I'll get back to them. A lot of times I'll be scrolling on my phone. I'm working at night, in
Beautiful.
the morning, whatever. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you can get a hold of me there, get a hold of me on LinkedIn,
Come
whatever.
to the booth. Just come to the PPI booth and ask for Matt.
Yeah,
They'll give
exactly. Yep. Any of those events, I'll be there too. PPAI, ASI, whatever it
you.
is. So yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for giving your time. Sure
appreciate the
that
time.
whoever listening to this podcast episode would learn at least something from you today. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and that's all we could do, right? Obviously we want to help people, we want to
Yeah,
educate, and if somebody could
yeah,
take just a little nugget of information,
yeah.
then we've done our jobs here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
you too. Bye.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Yep.